Well, here we go then with another riveting update on my solar and battery installation. Is it still working? Has it paid for itself yet? Let's find out by looking at lots of graphs and tables. As always, a quick reminder that I've got 10 390 watt solar panels on my roof, feeding back to a 3.68 kilowatt solar edge string inverter sitting in the garage. I've also got a Give Energy all-in-one with 13.5 kilowatt hours of storage and an older AC coupled Give Energy inverter with 8.2 kilowatt hours of storage sitting next to that. Yes, Give Energy. So that's the big news since I last put out one of these solar payback videos. Give Energy Limited have gone into administration, which means that any warranty that I had on these is effectively null and void. So the approach I need to take in using these batteries has got to change a bit. I need to strike a balance between using them as much as possible to maximize my returns and get my payback as soon as possible, whilst also treating them as gently as possible to make sure that they last long enough to actually pay me back. You see, the more you use your battery, the faster it pays you back. So if you're a high usage household and you're cycling your batteries every day, charging off peak and avoiding using peak rates, then you'll get your money back on those batteries faster than if you're barely touching them each day. And if you're enrolled in a virtual power plant scheme like the one from Octopus Energy, or maybe you're taking part in the Octopus Energy Saving Sessions, exporting energy out to the grid when it's in demand and being paid a premium for helping out, then that can also help speed up the return on your initial investment. Octopus have also recently announced a new Charge Pack add-on to the Intelligent Octopus Go tariff, which is basically like their version of Octopus Energy. Octopus will take control of your home battery if compatible and pay you extra in exchange. It's certainly worth looking into if you're on the Intelligent Octopus Go tariff and you've got a compatible battery. But of course, taking part in those sessions increases the wear on your battery, the inverter and all of the wiring. And if that inverter goes pop, then your whole investment plan could be over. So what do you do? Well, I don't actually have the answer for you, sorry. It's up to you and your own appetite for risk. You could hammer the batteries as much as you can in the hope that you hit your payback sooner, or you could be gentle with them. Payback will take longer, but hopefully the kit will last longer too. I honestly don't think there's any right or wrong answer here. I've decided not to take part in a virtual power plant offering for the moment, in part because I have a complex setup that the various companies have no chance of being able to control properly, but also in an attempt to be a little bit gentle with the kit that I'm relying on to keep my energy bills nice and low. If they had a signal-only offering that allowed me to control the batteries and partake if I thought it was appropriate, and allow me to make all of the changes necessary to get it working, then I might consider it. But these schemes are generally designed for, I guess, normal users who don't want to deal with any of that. So let's get on with the data then. As always, I've been recording my peak and off-peak import, my solar generation and my exported energy in this monthly worksheet. You can see here I've been collecting this data since I had the system installed back in November 2021, so it's been live for over 4.5 years now. It basically does a calculation to figure out what I would have spent if I didn't have solar and batteries, and spits out an estimated savings for the month in the final column. That estimated saving assumes that I would still have been on the Intelligent Octopus Go tariff, because even if I didn't have solar and batteries, I'd have still got my EVs. This process is focusing purely on the benefits of the solar and the batteries, and not the payback of anything else I've got like my EVs or my heat pump. I'd be on a smart tariff of some sort even if I didn't have solar and batteries. If you want to check out the various smart tariffs available from Octopus Energy, like the Intelligent Octopus Go tariff that I'm on, then visit speaktothegeek.co.uk/energy and you'll get a £50 bonus account credit if you switch. So export rates are slightly down now compared to last year, which is a shame but not unexpected. Import rates started off very low for off-peak at the start of the year, but for the last 2 months have been a lot higher. That is a mixed blessing really, because on the one hand I'm paying more for my energy, but But on the other hand, it means my solar and batteries are saving me even more money each month, so my payback will be sooner. Solar generation has also been down every month so far compared to last year, which is a bit of a shame. But to be fair, last year was generally up on the previous year and was quite a good year for solar overall. So right back at the start of this YouTube channel, when I began making these solar stats videos, I predicted that my installation would break even by 2030, so roughly an 8-year payback. In my last video though, my estimated break-even date was late 2028, so that's only 6 years for it to pay for itself. But where are we now, 6 months later, is the real question. This is my break-even table. I show it in every update video, so hopefully you'll already be familiar with this. But just to remind you, this forecast column here was my original payback forecast. You can see the red cell highlighted there in 2030, and the values in those cells are what I predicted I would save in those years. If we look at last year's total, that's 2025, you can see that my actual bill savings were more than I had originally forecast. This year, I'm on track to save a whopping £2,220 on my energy bill, thanks to my solar panels and batteries. I do need to caveat this though by saying I have calculated that based on just doubling the savings for the first half of this year. But when I did that last year, it was reasonably accurate, so we'll actually see for real when I update you in January. You can also see that I took part in a few of the Octopus Saving Sessions too this year. I've only made £5.86 from those, so it's not made a huge difference, especially compared to previous years. One of the biggest achievements this year so far though is that I'm running at an amazing 2% split between my peak and off-peak usage. So only 2% of the energy that I purchased from the grid was at a peak rate. I imagine that might go up a bit once the cooler weather kicks in, but again, we'll find that out at the end of the year. But reducing the amount of peak rate energy I pay for is the main goal here for the quickest payback. But I suppose I need to get to the point here and tell you when I'm going to break even. Here's the final graph then, and you can see that in 2028 I'm on track to just about make a small profit of £113, meaning I'll achieve break even around the end of 2028. So no change really from the last update here, which is in a way good. It means that my forecasting is working well. So all being well, I've got about 2.5 years until my system pays for itself, so fingers crossed that it behaves itself. Anyway, don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to my channel for free so as you don't miss the next update on this, which will be in January. A massive thank you to my channel members and patrons listed here for supporting the channel. If you'd like to get early access to my videos and some bonus content too occasionally, then check out the links on joining down in the description. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.